Hey, welcome back. This is Wisconsin Shoe Guy. Today we're going to do an unboxing of my very first GMTO where I worked to design the shoe. So really excited about this. This is coming from Enzo Bonafe and is through Solgarb. And so real excited. Now Enzo is known for doing a lot of handwork in their shoes. And Solgarb is known for supplying some really cool shell Cordovan. And what I did with this is I came up with a shell Cordovan in patterned shell in a bourbon color. So here is the shoe. Now, isn't that beautiful? Now we got, they did some nice work here. We did a Norwegian stitch, 180. The Norwegian stitch is done by hand, but then the stitch here on the inside, the second stitch of the Norwegian to the welt, that is actually done by machine. And then of course this machine also stitched the sole on as well. They always like to go really wide on this. Maybe too wide, maybe not. Maybe need to darken right here a little bit because it looks a little bit lighter. Maybe that's the lighting. We'll have to see what these look like when they're on. Now, I wanted to do something different, so I asked to do this explosion toppy. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I'm not usually a fan of toppies, but I wanted to give it a try, and I had them put a toe plate on in the factory, which of course is perfect. It's well set. And then I had this very, very interesting waist. Now you see how this is really thick here and then goes down to the waist. This is a Japanese waist and it has the fiddleback on it. This is very different than a regular Enzo Bonafe sole. So here, if you'll just bear with me a second, I'll grab a pair of Enzo Bonafes that you can look at to see what's different. So here is your regular donkey back sole. So it's smooth here, has the fiddle there, okay? And you'll see that. But when you look at the side here, how much did they carve that side? Again, look at that and look at that. They really carved the side down for the waist really, really nicely. Big difference. Now you see that this is also a closed stitch at the waist, so you can see the lines right here. Right, and on there, and that is, they actually opened up the channel and they hammered it shut. So that is interesting. So, but a big welt on these, big edge, and really interesting. Now, if you look at these compared to these, you can see it's a big difference. But if you look at this compared to other Norwegian welt shoes, well, it's a little bit bigger. It's not tremendously bigger. So it is an interesting change. Now, this is the other thing that I had done differently. The apron here is the same as my other 2745s, but the toe, I did a reverse stitch toe instead of the toe that matches the apron. Now, you'll notice that this is not a skin stitch. This is just a straight reverse stitch, and that's machine sewn, looks like, just like the rest of the upper. It's very, very nice. Good color matching with the different pieces of shell. You don't always get that. So pretty excited about that. The heel stack, they're thin pieces. I don't know whether or not, you can see here, you can see how the pieces are stacked there. Now it's carved out, but you know, sometimes when you get a fiddleback, you'll have a lot more carving on the waist. It's not a lot. It's just, it's really clean. And you got that explosion on the heel. I don't usually like full rubber heels, but I've never had an explosion from Vibram. So I am interested to see how that goes. And now we get to look at the other shoe. And we look at the same thing. Color match is good here. You know, they click the heel well, as they do. Color match there is good. The Norwegian stitching is good. You got a little bit of looseness here. I don't know what that is. Probably just stuff that just blows away. And then again, the machine stitch through the leather into the welt, and then of course the welt to the sole, and then the finishing. The waist is clean, and that is all perfectly smooth, done pretty well. So a little notch there in the edge, not too bad. And these survived shipment okay. Now I had this is the right shoe, and I had them put an extra feather on the last for this to give my toes a little bit of extra room here. So we did that in order to make this size, this 9.5, work for me. I did this on the same last on a pair of boots, and it worked out tremendously, and it looks good. So very excited about these. This is Bourbon Shell Cordovan. I have another pair in Bourbon from Allen Edmonds, but it's not in this beautiful hatch grain. Hatch grain is something of a passion of mine, and very excited about how this this pair came out. So let me know what questions and comments you have in the comments, and look forward to sharing these on the road here shortly. So thank you.